I said I'm living in a lost generation. I said I'm living in a lost generation.
The media often comment on the fact that children are apparently growing up too fast. With social media ever increasing and putting massive pressures on youth to look and act certain ways, is there any wonder that young people are in a hurry to grow up?
Favourite apps, probably Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. If someone new goes on your profile, you don't want to have like 5 likes.
But technology is advancing all the time, and with computers and iPhones, etc., they're tending to go to advance a wee bit quicker than they should be.
Well, I can agree with the statements in the media about young children growing up far too fast and far too soon. I think that social media, the media in general, modern culture does contribute an awful lot to that.
Recent articles and papers have claimed that teenagers are becoming more disconnected from their families and isolated emotionally as they spend all of their day online.
I think I spend, when I get in from school, I spend a couple of hours on my phone and my iPad, because I haven't been able to use them all day.
Spend all day on my phone.
I think that there should be more social skills for going out and about and meeting and going to clubs and doing different things. But I think that a lot of them are in their rooms all the time and they're working on their computers and that, and it's sometimes not great, no?
They're very much technology focused. I mean, I very rarely run into children playing outside in the village now. Most of them now spend all their time indoors.
Technology is no doubt killing social interactions. However, adults are just as much to blame, so why are children being targeted?
I think adults have the potential to use social media just as much, if not more, than kids nowadays. There's some people that it's actually their job.
They do see what the adults are doing, but it's not just the adults looking at adults. I think they've got their own minds about themselves and they're talking to their friends about what websites, etc., that they go on, and sometimes, I think it can be too much.
I sort of make it a general rule that if I'm out with family or friends and I don't right there need to phone someone, so like an important call, no sort of trivial things, then I make it a sort of general rule that I'm not going to have my phone out. It's common courtesy, it's manners.
My mum has an iPhone, so she's on it playing games a lot, but it's only a couple of hours or something a day, but my dad hardly ever goes on his phone.
You can see it nowadays in restaurants and stuff like that. A whole mess of kids all sitting there on their on video games or Game Boys, DS's, iPads playing video games, and the parents are sitting having a chat amongst themselves. It is kind of sad because it should be a family time, right? But it's not.
The discipline's not there anymore. We used to have discipline, and discipline's a good thing for children. Believe it or not, learning what's right and what's wrong is a good for advancement for children. But they're not getting that. Some of them are not getting that at the moment, and they don't know what's right and what's wrong.
It's all kind of scaremongering. Let's be honest. It's taking a cross-section of society and just kind of inflating it to be a social problem when kids are still just as carefree and ignorant as they were when I was a kid.
For young people, especially children, they're at a very, very sort of vulnerable stage of their life where a lot of things that it will shape who they are when they grow older. And ultimately, I think it's almost a case of just almost tell the parents to tell the kids, put the iPod down and just go outside, play with your friends, go read a book.
Kids who grew up in the 90s may have not had any of the advanced technology that is around nowadays, but does that mean they were any better at just being kids?
I did and didn't enjoy my childhood. It was everything. You can get a wee bit nostalgic, I suppose. I did spend a lot of time on the computer. Obviously spent a lot of time outside as well, which I don't think the younger generations do as much nowadays. It's not necessarily quite so normal now, but what is normal?
I just hang about with my friends and go into town and the cinema, just normal things really.
But in the weekends usually I'll play netball or I'll go out with my family or my friends.
I did also spend time indoors playing video games. Loved them then, I still love them now, but back in the day, to sound incredibly old and nostalgic about it, so much of my time was spent outdoors.
The subject of pop culture ruining childhood innocence is still being discussed, and songs that are constantly being played on the radio, boasting and even condoning things like drug use are not helping children's needs to grow up.
That's what most teenagers talk about now anyway, so I don't think it's bad.
Pop culture has such a massive effect on children. The way that reality shows work nowadays and the nature of fame, that sort of pop culture, that's, you know, there are people who exist now who are famous for being famous. Like, they don't do anything, and people aspire to be like that. It's almost as if young people nowadays are just being told, you will achieve. And I think for that reason, mainstream popular culture is massively damaging to young people.
As much as the majority complain about society's young people, is there really anything that can be done to stop this obsession and allow this generation to recapture its youth?
Well, I don't think there's anything that really can be done to stop the problem. I would see ourselves on a conveyor belt, and you're gradually going with things. And to be honest with you, you have to go on the conveyor belt and go with it, or you'll be left behind.
The only way to stop it is just by, I don't know, awareness. Awareness of the older generations to be able to, I don't know, lecture the young ones into, I don't know, the realisation that it's not the be-all and end-all.
I'm living life